On the 23rd of August, as Sudan marked the 500th day of gruesome civil war that has ravaged the nation, US brokered truce talks in Switzerland, aiming to finally end the conflict, collapsed after mediators failed to convince the military to come to the negotiation table. While agreement over aid transit was signed, the deals are being seen more as symbolic progress than a concrete path to peace. More details in our next report.
A renowned African proverb says that when two elephants fight, it is the grass that gets trampled. In Sudan, however, it's not grass, but rice, wheat, barley, corn, sorghum, and the availability of various foodstuffs that has been left decimated. This as the civil war between the Sudanese armed force and the Rapid Support Force leaves the region reeling from hunger, sowing nothing but chaos and strife in its wake. Last week, nearly 5,000 kilometers away in a quaint Swiss ski resort, truce talks led by American and Arab diplomats came to an inconclusive end. After 10 days of negotiations and with the absence of the Sudanese military, mediators failed to broker a ceasefire. Addressing the military's refusal to participate, Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan took aim at the UAE's presence at the talks as the reason for their absence. Burhan stated that he refuses to participate in expanding Jeddah's platform in mediating conflicts on a global stage.
We don't undermine the rights of the Sudanese people. We will keep fighting for 50, for 100 years unless the Rapid Support Forces are destroyed and we liberate every inch they have desecrated. This war will not end.
And with no end to the war in sight, agreements to deliver food and medicine were the only semblances of some headway to peace awarded to the people of Sudan.
We need those leaders inside Sudan, and we need those in the international community to understand that every hour is an opportunity to save lives. Every hour is an opportunity to get more food and medicine across. And as we speak, decisions will be made about whether the 15 or so trucks that crossed the Adre are the beginning of hundreds or yet another loss of hope.
The SAF, which controls a majority of the nation's territory, finally allowed a World Food Programme aid convoy carrying sorghum, pulses, oil and rice to cross into the country from its Chadian side at the Adre border post.
The Adre crossing from Chad is the most effective and the most direct way for us to deliver humanitarian assistance to Sudan at a scale and speed required to respond to the huge hunger crisis in the country. The World Food Programme tells us that trucks can cross into Darfur from Adre and then reach key distribution points in that very same day, basically in one day.
The agreement allowing the flow of food aid is, however, for a meagre period of 3 months, with merely 15 of the 131 waiting aid trucks being allowed to cross the border. Many believe this move to be nothing but a lick and a promise by one of the warring sides, both of whom have weaponized hunger in the region. While high-ranking commanders and spokespersons of the RSF deny reports of loot and plunder, RSF raiding parties have been seen marauding villages in the region frequenting Sudan's central El Gezira state, a key farming region and strategic crossroads just south of the capital Khartoum. Residents have alleged that RSF fighters periodically clean out stocks of wheat and other crops, block farmers from accessing their field, and regularly kill, abduct and sexually assault members of rural farming communities. The RSF has taken some measures to curb atrocities. Early in the war, the paramilitary set up an internal police force to investigate abuses, culminating in the arrest of thousands of men, mostly locals, in El Gezira. RSF negotiators present at the Swiss truce talks showed the same willingness to clamp down on abuses being committed by their men.
We've gotten an agreement from the Rapid Support Forces for a code of conduct that will be issued to their soldiers. We'll have many of the basics of international humanitarian law, including protections of women and protections related to farming and the harvest, so that we can look at the issues not just of the current famine, but how we begin.
However, these incremental gains are being outpaced by the severity of the human tragedy in the region. 3 weeks from the day the UN-accredited Integrated Food Security Phase Classification (IPC) system declared famine in parts of Darfur, Sudan's health ministry has declared a cholera epidemic, with the WHO reporting over 27 cases of cholera with 316 deaths and counting. Moreover, cases of dengue fever and meningitis infections are also on the rise across the region. With the civil war passing the 500-day mark on the same day as the inconclusive truce talks in Switzerland came to an end, many are left wondering what truly is the prize for the victor in this conflict. An epidemic that threatens the entire region, a refugee crisis that has left 12 million Sudanese displaced, or a famine that endangers close to 50 million people. For there may not be even grass left to trample when this conflict finally ends. Bureau Report, WION World is One.